There's something that most women don't know. When a man feels such deep desire for you that it overwhelms him, he doesn't always move closer. Sometimes he does exactly the opposite. He seems distant, confused, maybe even cold, and you wonder, am I losing him? Has he stopped feeling anything? But the truth is, according to Carl Jung's psychology, this behavior doesn't mean he's not interested. It means the intensity is too strong. So strong that it triggers an inner conflict he doesn't want you to see. Carl Jung said that real desire, the kind that comes from the deepest parts of the unconscious mind, never shows itself in a straight line. It's not logical, not predictable, and it doesn't follow any rules. When a man wants you so badly that his soul shakes just thinking about you, his conscious mind tries to fight it. It's a natural defense. He's protecting himself from what makes him feel vulnerable, exposed, and out of control. You become the mirror showing him everything he wanted to keep hidden, even from himself. That's why one of the clearest signs of deep desire isn't pursuit, it's pulling back. Not chasing, but holding back. Not action, but silence. Because hidden desire sounds different. You feel it in the small things, the contradictions, the moments when he's torn between what he wants to do and what he thinks he should do. Here is the truth nobody tells you. A man only resists when what he is feeling is bigger than he can handle. He doesn't fight something small. He fights something that could change his whole life, get inside him, and break down the walls he spent years building. Without even knowing it, you're waking up emotions in him that are too powerful to control naturally. That's why Carl Jung talked about the battle between the shadow and the persona. The shadow is the raw, real, instinctive desire. The persona is the social mask telling him to stay in control. So when he pulls away, avoids you, or seems confused, it's not because he feels nothing. It's because he feels too much. In this video, I'm going to show you the clearest signs from Jungian psychology that this man isn't running from you, he is running from his own feelings. Signs that show deep, quiet, almost uncontrollable desire. Signs that prove he is holding back precisely because he wants you more than he can admit to himself. Real quick subscribe to SYC Soul and hit that notification bell. First sign, hidden desire. According to Carl Jung, what gets pushed down never disappears. It just changes shape. When a man feels such strong attraction for you that he doesn't know how to handle it, his body and his behavior start giving away this inner tension. He can't look at you calmly and directly because his unconscious is betraying him. The spark in his eyes, the interest he's trying to kill, the urge to get closer that he's fighting to control. He doesn't want you to realize that just the sound of your voice or seeing you makes him defenseless. When you talk about deep stuff feelings, closeness, connection, he suddenly changes the subject, cracks a joke, or gets distracted. Actually, it's proof that his interest is too strong. He doesn't pull back because he doesn't care. He pulls back because the intensity is overwhelming him. He's controlling himself because he's scared of acting on impulse. He's hiding because he's terrified. You'll see how deeply you move him, how much you shake him up and break through his defenses. This first sign matters because everything he tries to hide ends up becoming the most obvious. If you pay attention, you'll notice his silence screams louder than his words. Are you relating to this? Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. Second sign, his inner battle with attraction. There are men who want you and men who want you too much. When a man desires you with this unconscious intensity, the kind Carl Jung described as two archetypes meeting, his behavior gets contradictory. Not because he doesn't know what he wants, but because he knows exactly what he wants. And that scares him. The second big sign he's fighting his feelings is this inner conflict, a quiet war between desire and self-control. Carl Jung talked about the tension between the persona, the social mask he wears, and the unconscious pull dragging him toward you. It's a fight between two forces, the logical and the instinctive. He wants to get closer to you, but he holds back. He wants to talk to you, but he stays quiet. He wants to look at you, but his eyes turn away. In all these tiny decisions, his energy becomes inconsistent. One day he's sending strong signals. The next day he seems far away. This isn't manipulation or games. It's an emotional storm he doesn't know how to handle. His inner battle shows up most in moments of closeness. When you've had a deep conversation, real connection, or honest intimacy, he often pulls back right after. He texts less, seems colder, acts like nothing happened. But something did happen, and that's exactly why he retreats. That closeness activated emotions in him that are overwhelming. You can also spot it in his contradictions. He says he doesn't want complications, but he seeks you out. He claims he's not ready, but he cares about you. He insists he wants space, but he shows up when you least expect it. Carl Jung explained that suppressed desire doesn't express itself directly. It comes through back and forth movements, moving closer, pulling away, moving closer again, the unconscious trying to balance itself. Another sign of this inner struggle is his extreme need for control. He tries to appear calm, composed, reasonable, but his body doesn't go along with it. He seems stiffer, more tense, more aware of every word you say. You can feel he's too conscious of his own presence, like he's weighing every sentence to avoid revealing too much. And as soon as he senses he might lose control, he activates his defenses. He distances himself, makes jokes, changes the topic, or suddenly acts confusing. But behind all of this is the same reason. His attraction to you is so strong, he has to resist it to avoid feeling vulnerable. This inner struggle is one of the clearest signs, because a man only fights something that really touches him deep down. Surface-level things don't cause conflict. Only deep things do. And when he's wrestling with this contradiction, it's because you've awakened something in him he can't control. Something that challenges him, moves him, and disarms him. Third sign, emotional tension in his body. The body never lies. Carl Jung said when the mind suppresses desire, it doesn't vanish. It moves into the body, turning into unconscious movements, tiny expressions, an energy that vibrates between two people even when nobody says a word. And this is one of the clearest signs a man wants you, so badly he's trying to resist it. His body is tense, reactive, alive, even when he looks calm on the outside. When he's near you, his posture changes. He gets stiffer, like his body is under pressure, trying to keep up the act of control. Or the opposite happens. He gets restless, fidgets with his hands, touches his clothes, keeps shifting position. This restlessness doesn't mean he's uncomfortable around you. It means he's uncomfortable inside himself. It's the tension between what he wants to do, get closer to you, touch you, look at you openly, and what he thinks he has to do to avoid exposing himself. Pay attention to his breathing. A man trying to hide his desire breathes two ways. Really shallow, like he's scared his chest will give him away, or really deep, like he's trying to calm the inner tension drowning him. The body reflects the intensity of the unconscious. It beats faster, reacts stronger, gets active without him deciding to. And then there are the looks he can't control. Not the direct ones he avoids, but those quick, almost invisible glances. He watches you when he thinks you won't notice, and the second you catch him, he looks away like eye contact is too intimate, too dangerous for his mask of control. Carl Jung called these escapes of the unconscious, behaviors slipping through when emotions are stronger than willpower. Another clear sign shows in his physical reaction to your presence. When you get closer, he tenses up. When you move away, he seems to relax, but never completely, because the tension isn't from physical distance, it's from emotional distance. It's saying, I want to get closer to you, but I can't. I want to touch you, but I shouldn't. I want to say what I feel, but I don't dare. Notice his unconscious gestures, how he mirrors your movements, copies your posture, repeats the same words or phrases. This is a classic sign of unconscious attraction. His body is trying to sync with yours, even while his mind resists. And maybe the clearest sign of all is his unexplainable nervousness. Around you, he acts differently than with others, more attentive, more reactive, more connected than he wants to admit. It's like his body is responding to a force he can't control. Carl Jung said the body is the bridge between the conscious and unconscious. It reveals what the mind tries to hide. So when he seems tense, controlled, restless, or contradictory, it's not random. It's not disinterest. It's desire. A desire so strong his body feels it before his mind accepts it. Because when a man resists, his mind can lie, but his body never can. Fourth sign, the unconscious pull. No matter how hard he tries to resist, no matter how much he fights his feelings, the unconscious always finds a way to move toward once. And that's one of the most revealing signs of all. He gets closer to you without realizing it. It's quiet, subtle, almost accidental, but constant. Carl Jung said the psyche always moves toward what completes it, even when the conscious mind tries to stop it. A man who wants you deeply might seem to keep his distance at first, but in the details he can't control, he gets closer than he means to. You notice when he suddenly shows up where you are, coincidentally in the same place at the same time, doing things he never did before. This isn't coincidence. It's his desire unconsciously pulling him toward you. He finds excuses to talk to you. Small things that don't need a real conversation, but let him stay present in your life. I just wanted to ask you something quick, or I saw this and thought of you. These aren't questions. They're bridges, threads he's throwing out so he doesn't lose the connection. Another sign of this unconscious pull is his strong interest in your life. He asks questions he doesn't really need to ask. How are you? What are you doing? How do you feel? What are your plans? They sound casual, but with attention too intense to just be polite. It's his unconscious trying to enter your emotional world, while his mind hasn't figured it out yet. Even when he tries to stay neutral, his body language gives him away. He leans toward you, listens closely, reacts emotionally to your words. It's like his energy orbits around you. Carl Jung explained that deep attraction works like a psychological magnet, invisible, but you can feel it. And the clearest sign of all, he always comes back. Even if he distances himself for a few days, even if he says he needs space, he always finds a way back to you. This return is a silent confession. His desire is stronger than his resistance. His mind wants to run, but his soul doesn't. This unconscious pull also shows in his sensitivity toward you. He notices details others miss. When you change your look, when your mood shifts, when you get quieter. His attention is a form of emotional closeness he can't control because it comes from his desire. And here's a truth most women don't understand. A man who unconsciously moves closer to you is a man who feels more than he can handle. Because nobody fights something that means nothing to them. Nobody returns to a place where they feel no connection. Nobody seeks closeness to something that doesn't attract them. So when he shows up, asks, texts, returns, watches, it's because his unconscious has already decided. Even if his mind is still resisting, his soul already knows he wants you. Fifth sign, his fear of giving in to desire. This sign is without a doubt the strongest and also the hardest to read. Fear not of you, but of what he feels because of you. Carl Jung explained that when a man faces an emotion powerful enough to touch hidden parts of himself, an unconscious defense kicks in, rooted in one simple truth. He's scared of losing control. When a man wants you so deeply that he tries to resist it, he's not doing it because something's wrong with you, because he doesn't like you, or because he's insecure. Actually, he does it because he's too sure of his feelings. And that certainty scares him. His desire makes him vulnerable, strips him bare, leads him into emotional territory where he can't control anything anymore. A place where you have the power to touch him, change him, tear down his inner walls. This fear shows up in typical phrases. I am not looking for anything serious right now. I don't want complications. I don't know if I'm ready. But if you look closely, you'll see the silent contradiction between what he says and what he does. Because he still seeks you out, still shows up, still thinks about you more than he'll admit. His words are meant to protect him, but his actions expose him. The fear also shows in his behavior after intense moments. When you've had a deep conversation, strong connection, or real closeness, he often suddenly pulls back. Not because he didn't like it, but because he felt it too strongly. Carl Jung said, when an emotion touches the unconscious, it awakens the archetype of the lover, a force so powerful it can shake the entire conscious personality. And it's exactly this shakeup he wants to avoid. That's why you'll sometimes see contradictions. He's affectionate, then suddenly cold, shows interest, then disappears, opens up emotionally, only to shut the door right after. This emotional back and forth is his fear of surrendering to what he feels. Another deep sign of his fear is his perfectionism. These men want to seem perfect, control everything, make no mistakes. This inner tension paralyzes them. They overanalyze, hesitate too much, hold back not because they don't want to move forward with you, but because they're scared of failing you and failing themselves. Sometimes this fear also appears as fear of feminine intensity. Carl Jung spoke of the anima, the feminine aspect inside a man that only wakes up when a woman truly touches him at his core. When you activate this part of him, he feels emotionally naked, vulnerable, stripped of his usual defenses. This awakening unsettles him, makes him pull back, yet draws him even closer to you. And here's the truth that changes everything. A man who feels nothing has no fear. Fear is proof of his desire. Resistance is proof of how deep his feelings go. His inner struggle is the sign you're already inside him in a way he can't control. This fear isn't weakness. It's consequence. It shows he's found something that really matters, something that changes him, touches him, shakes him, and goes beyond him. And that something is you. If this video is helping you understand men better, make sure you're subscribed to SYC Soul. Hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Conclusion. When a man seems to fight his feelings, he's not running from you. He's running from himself, from the intensity flowing through him, from the vulnerability you awaken in him, from the possibility of being truly touched and transformed. Carl Jung said the deepest bonds don't come from peace, but from inner conflict, from the collision between what we try to control and what our soul has already decided. A man can control his words, his distance, his excuses, but he can't control what vibrates inside him when you're near. He can't control what your presence does to his energy, his body, his unconscious. That's why he acts contradictory. That's why he gets closer, only to pull away again. That's why he looks at you when he thinks you won't notice. That's why he comes back even though he told himself not to. He's struggling because what he feels for you isn't small, isn't temporary, isn't something that can just be ignored. When a man feels nothing, everything stays flat. No struggles, no tension, no coming back. But when he feels too much, this emotional push and pull happens, confusing you, but revealing how deep his desire goes. He isn't trying to avoid you. He's trying to protect himself from the intensity, from losing control, from the force of what you've awakened in him. You've become a mirror where he sees parts of himself that have been asleep for a long time: his sensitivity, his passion, his fears, his deepest, most human desires. This resistance you see isn't rejection, it's recognition. It's his soul saying, "This means too much to me." It's his unconscious pulling him toward you, even when his mind tries to hit the brakes. Carl Jung said a deep connection between two people doesn't always look like harmony. Often it looks like inner conflict, emotional tremor, that mix of attraction and fear that forces a person to face themselves. And you are exactly that force, the one confronting him with his own truth, moving him, waking him up, lighting the desire in him he can't control. So the next time you notice his distance, his confusion, his tension, or his clumsy way of hiding his feelings, don't think he's leaving you behind. Remember, he's fighting something bigger than himself. Remember, he's holding down a desire that's overwhelming him. Remember that really, he's only resisting how deep you've already reached him. And never forget this: a man who tries to resist you is a man who has already fallen and is only scared you realize it. What looks like distance is actually the purest proof of his desire. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to SYC Soul, like this video, hit that notification bell so you don't miss upcoming videos, and share this with anyone who needs to understand this. See you in the next one.